The Legacy of Edom, Uncovering the Hidden History of Ashkenazi Jews. In 586 BCE, the Edomites, a rival nation of the ancient Hebrews, usurped Hebrew identity and culture after the fall of Jerusalem. As recorded in the Hebrew Bible, the Edomites dealt treacherously with the house of Judah. Throughout history, the Edomites have consistently confederated against the Hebrews, seeking to undermine their power and control. According to the historian Flavius Josephus, the Edomites were enemies of the Jews. In the centuries that followed, the Edomites played a significant role in the Transatlantic slave trade, targeting the Hebrews who had been exiled to Africa after the Roman destruction of Jerusalem. As noted by historian Patrick Manning, the Israelites, who had been dispersed from their homeland by the Romans, were among the groups targeted by European slave traders in West Africa. Historian Douglas A. Blackman also confirms that the Hebrews, who had been forced into slavery and exile by the Romans, were among the groups brought to the Americas as slaves. Over time, the Edomites, who had adopted Hebrew customs and traditions, migrated to Europe and became known as Ashkenazi Jews. Despite their adopted identity, they retained their Edomite heritage and cultural practices. According to geneticist Dr. Aaron Elhayek, the Ashkenazi Jewish population is largely composed of European ancestry. Historical records and genetic studies confirm this Edomite origin, with no significant genetic connection to ancient Israelites. As noted by geneticist Dr. David Goldstein, the Ashkenazi Jewish population does not show a significant genetic link to ancient Israelites. This legacy of Edom has significant implications for our understanding of Jewish history and identity. As historian Dr. Shlomo Sand writes, the Ashkenazi Jews are not descended from the ancient Israelites. In fact, the concept of Jewishness is not based on biological descent from ancient Israelites, but rather on cultural and religious identity. As scholar Dr. Raphael Patai notes, Jewishness is a complex phenomenon that cannot be reduced to simple biological or genetic terms. Furthermore, the idea of a single monolithic Jewish identity is a relatively recent construct. As historian Dr. Yuri Slezkin argues, the modern concept of Jewish identity is a product of the 19th century. In conclusion, Jewishness is not based on being related to the biblical ancient Israelites, but rather on how connected one feels to the idea of their own version of Hebrew culture. As scholar Dr. Daniel Boyarin writes, Jewish identity is a matter of cultural and religious affiliation, not biological descent.